Hi, my name is Robin Greer, and I was diagnosed with airless downless hypermobility about 6 years ago. Before then, I knew that I had flexible joints, and I had had a number of injuries and had to go to physical therapists over the years, but not really enough to put two and two together, that I had hypermobility, or really to keep me from being active for very long. If anything, I'd say in my 20s, I probably enjoyed the flexibility that hypermobility gave me when it came to doing things like yoga and Pilates. In the last 4 years, however, I've had numerous tears in my connective tissue. So I've been fortunate to be able to get them fixed using prolotherapy and also PRP. But I was really desperate to try to figure out how to stop them from happening in the first place. I wanted to find something that would prevent them so I wouldn't have to constantly be trying to fix things. So I've gone in the last 4 years from being a very active person to not being able to do much activities except for walk the dogs. Couldn't even really do water aerobics without tearing something. And in this time I've seen numerous physical therapists, and they all told me variations of the same thing, which is that I had to be so much stronger than the average woman in order to protect my joints. The problem was I couldn't figure out how to do that. I just kept getting injured. I would ask them, how is this possible for me to get stronger, to protect my joints if I can't stop from getting injured? And none of them seemed to have a really good answer. In fact, one about a year or so ago told me, you need better body awareness of where your body is in space. And when I asked them how I could do that, they said, well, I'm not sure, maybe you could wear a really tight t-shirt underneath your clothes. It wasn't clear how that was supposed to help, but it wasn't very encouraging. I came across Adam's website while I was trying to find someone who looked at things in a totally different way, from a fresh perspective than anyone else I had seen. And as soon as I started listening to Adam's videos and reading his blog posts, I knew that he was looking at things in a really refreshing, different, and downright genius way. He said that it made no sense, this exclusive focus on strength, for a number of reasons. But one is that, you can have all the strength that, you can get, but if your brain doesn't know where your joints are in space and what muscles to engage to protect them, then it's not going to work. He also talked about how people with hypermobility were much more likely to dislocate joints and injure themselves outside of physical therapy when they were just sort of going about and living their life, and that's exactly my experience. I've had, tendon and ligament tears just doing the most random things, like buying groceries and stuff like that. So I knew in my gut that he was absolutely right, and that I was pretty desperate to get started. So I was really thrilled that the program could be done on Zoom, because I'm in the United States and he's obviously in England. I knew that he was onto something, but I didn't know before I started the program how many thousands of hours he's put into it. It is so professional and impressive and amazing. He has hundreds of videos and so much experience and so much wisdom. You're able to ask him questions outside of sessions. The program doesn't have a particular endpoint, so you can just focus on getting better. So in my opinion, Adam is a freaking genius. But I should say also that he wears his genius pretty lightly, in the sense that he's really fun to work with. He's personable, and our sessions are really fun. I look forward to them. I'm only 7 weeks into the program, but I went from being covered in KT tape, feeling like a mummy, using an SI belt to keep everything together, and feeling incredibly fragile, slightest stiff breeze might cause me to injure myself again, to not having no tape. In the last 3 weeks, I've had no tape, no belt. In fact, my husband and I went on what was supposed to be a 1-hour kayak trip last weekend, and it turned into almost a 3-hour one. We had to carry the kayak through shallow water, on river, wearing sandals, through river rocks, which were slippery. We had to take the kayak out because of fallen trees and walk through this meadow with it. And this was amazing that I could do this in the first place with no tape. I felt extremely confident. And when we were done, I was definitely tired, but I didn't hurt myself, which felt like a miracle. I was really, really proud. Also, my husband has had to hold both of our dogs' leashes for the last year because of my injuries, including a bunch of rib dislocations, but now I'm able to take them by myself when he is busy. I feel confident and optimistic, which is pretty much 180 degrees different from how I felt even, like I guess a couple months ago. I had 3 dislocated ribs, and I worried that I would never get any better, and that this was sort of my life, that I would just have injury after injury. So I cannot say enough great things about Adam or the program. It has changed my life forever, the trajectory of my life. I'm so incredibly grateful and happy, and I would 100% recommend this program to anyone who's thinking it over. Thanks. Bye-bye.